Good evening, everybody. I'm about to start going up Route 1, no paths. It's been a long couple of weeks. I've not been out in a little bit. I came out a couple of weeks ago with my brother, but didn't film anything. And then it's been pretty nuts at work, so not much free time, lots of extra stuff to do. So looking forward to this one. This hasn't really come out as planned. The plan was to test out my gear because I'm going to Scotland next weekend for 5 days to do the Cateran Way, but I basically brought loads of stuff that I'm not going to take on that trip. I don't think I'm going to take this bag, though it is nice and light. I want more attachment points on the outside, I think. Tent should be the one I'm going to take. Sleeping bag, the mats, but I'm not sure about the stove and basically all the other bits and bobs. So it's a halfway house. I just grabbed some stuff and then realised when I set off that I didn't have the stuff that I'm planning on taking. And also I'll show you my other disaster so far. Yeah. I didn't bring my boots. Luckily I had my football kit at work, so I'll just put them on. And so far they're pretty light and they're pretty grippy, although it's mostly worn down. Right, it's going to be dark in about 40 minutes, so I need to get a move on. Anything to put off walking up a hill? Right, hopefully next time you see me, I shall be at the top. So last time I was out, I was in a hammock over there. Good little spot. Can't see many people coming up here. And when I was in the hammock, to avoid the midge was bad, I went up that way for another 5 minutes. I remember thinking, you can get a tent in here. This is nice little patch. So now we'll see if it was wishful thinking or if there is enough space for a tent. It's all pretty slanty around here. Hammock was fine. Tent, maybe not so much. Right, I'm going to go through shoulder deep ferns for a little bit. Tell you what, there is some shrooms down here. Here we are, guys. Here we are. Before I pitch anything up, I'm going to definitely get the kettle on. I have an issue. I shall show you my issue now. This is my issue. That is definitely a dead standing tree. It is solid when you give it a good push. However, I want to put my tent there. Dead tree, tent, dead tree. Such is the issue. Put the kettle on. Decisions later. Go. Sorted. Yes. Right. It's going to be, well, the sun will be down in 50 minutes. So I've made a decision. I'm just going to put the tent under that tree. So it's a very clear case of do as I say, not as I do. But there's nowhere else to put it. So that's happening. It is completely still tonight, and it's forecast to be still all evening. And the only other possible place to put it is over there. And that means if it does fall down, the top with the spiky bits is going to hit me. I think I'd rather the bit at the bottom that's flat. I don't know. I'm sure someone will tell me that this is completely wrong and you may die. And you may never see me again if it does happen. I'll be a little bag of squished. Too tired to make much sense, guys, so watch at your peril. Right, I'm going to throw this tent up while that's boiling, and then I'm going to eat everything. Since last we spoke, I've eaten a lot. And I have now got a brew waiting for me, and some biscuits, and I'm going to dip the biscuits into brew, and then continue eating. Tent's up. The trusty lanshan. I've only had it out once since I did the coast to coast with it a couple of years ago, and I forgot how good they are. Just can cook in the porch, lightweight, strong in winds, just very small. You won't want to spend any time during the days on it, but if you're just backpacking, can't really go much better, to be honest. So I think that's definitely the one I'm going to take. That backpack, maybe there's some tie points at the bottom where I can put some elastic on. I'd just quite like to have something on the outside where I can tie the tent onto during the day if it's wet. We shall see. But it's a nice evening, very still, birds are singing, sun's just gone down. I reckon within half an hour I'll be in the tent, probably within an hour and a half I'll be asleep. Quick 12-hour sleep and then back up again. Because I'm tired. But I've got another meal in case I'm hungry later, so I can always cook something else. Oh, this is getting ridiculous. What is this? Yeah, brew, biscuits, bed, in that order. I've downloaded a couple of films to watch, but not really done that before when I've been camping. And I didn't want to carry the book, so I haven't brought a book, which is what I normally do. So I'll give that a go. Also brought a little kettle, which is quite cool, quite like it. I'm just not sure if I can sacrifice the space. But cool. Right, I shall stop wittering because this is not interesting. And brew up. Well, it is dark. That came down quickly. The other reason I came out tonight is it's supposed to get down to about 5 degrees, which is not as cold as it's going to be in Scotland, but it gives me a good indication of what sort of stuff I'm looking at taking. Right, I think I'm going to watch a film, so I may or may not catch you all later. Good morning, campers.
it's a cold one. I found the best thing to do in the morning is put a brew on. Same as the best thing in the evening to do is put a brew on. So I've put a brew on, and I think while that kettle's boiling, I shall drop the tent. Slept pretty well. I woke up about 3 o'clock quite cold. I think it's because I wasn't on the mat, I was just lying on the floor. So I'd wiggled myself off. But after that I was fine, so I think the sleeping bag's fine. I think I will take my proper air bed. I've got the little Climate one with all the holes in it, so it's really lightweight. I just think it's worth a little bit of extra weight to be more comfortable, I think. So I'm going to take that. Other than that, everything else is fine. I think I'm definitely going to take the solar stove. I love that little cooker. Let's bang on. Right, let's drop this tent, have a brew, get some breakfast. And this is where I was pitched up last night. Squish bit of grass. And these are the views this morning. Just got myself a nice little brew. Got some porridge. And I'll throw the rest of the stuff in top of the bag. And then we're done. I've half found a route down now. It wasn't as bad as it was last time coming down, but still ended up in shoulder deep ferns, smashing through them. I don't understand why I can go up but can't come down. Doesn't bode well for navigating by map for 5 days in Scotland, does it? It's very quiet this morning, very still, and still pretty chilly. So yeah, good camp. I reckon I probably got about 10 hours sleep. I watched half a film and then passed out. And then woke up a bit in the night. And then didn't even get out of the tent till about 8:30. And it's about 9:30 now. I had the mat on the inside on the way in for stealth purposes. I've just thrown everything in on the way back, so it's on the outside. I do like this bag. More and more I'm tempted just to go with it in Scotland. Could do with some more pockets, that's all. We will see. Right. I might show you some more stuff on the way back. I might not. This might be the end. I do feel like this has been a very random thing. I don't know what I've been talking about. I don't think it's got any entertainment value at all. Still, I'll put it on to remind myself where I went and what I did. Right guys, next time you see me, hopefully it'll be an epic across Scotland. So, see you then.